What's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Tafa Ben. I'm back in the true Wembley. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, better do so. Send them one with the voice. They be the entertainment news in Ghana and beyond. And then a Bremo and a Obour and a news in the Mundi. Di Ankasa I in Eddie buys or say Kofo. I just say na ono na President Emma Musiga Sisia Wide with him. Well, the sad news are hitting and they say Obour losing the papa. Yeah, Obour the papa no long ago at the Ridge General Hospital. Just say he was confirmed dead. And Obour COVID-19 entina odiye. But there's something to the story. Let's listen to
the death of an elderly man at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital in the last few hours, and he's suspected to have died of COVID-19. That is yet to be confirmed, but it has got the health workers quite worried. Joining me in studio now is Emefa Apau, who has details of this breaking story. So, Emefa, what more can you tell us about this?
So Israel, we're told that this elderly man was brought into the Ridge Hospital, the emergency center of the Ridge Hospital last night, that was yesterday, by a popular musician for obvious reasons. I'm withholding the name for now. He came in covered, well protected, with a father who was in a critical condition, I should say. So there are two centers at the emergency center. There's the resuscitation center and the ICU. Because of his situation, they had to take him to the resuscitation center. But he didn't tell the health workers on duty that the man had arrived from the USA.
Or what his suspicions were.
Exactly, or what his suspicions were. He didn't say that. But they asked him severally, but he didn't give the response that indeed the man had traveled and come back. So when the situation became serious, then he stated that the man had arrived from the US and then started giving them the history, and then they knew what was actually. So they saw that the symptoms were close to what they were looking for when it comes to a COVID-19 case. So they tested. But unfortunately, the man passed like an hour or so ago. As we speak, the man was tested. The test results had come in, and it tests positive from the reliable sources that we are getting from the Ridge Hospital.
So it has now been confirmed,
yes, that
he's
tested positive and he died of COVID-19. So as we speak, you know, if you've been to the Ridge Hospital before, at the emergency center, if you've been there before, there's a temporary morgue at the Ridge Hospital. So currently, that's where the man is being kept. But the situation, the reason why there's some fear and panic as we speak is that he came into contact with a number of health workers who were on duty last night. We are told about 15 or so of them who were on duty. So there's some kind of fear and panic. We are told they didn't have protective gears. They were exposed. You know, there's an isolation center at Ridge, but they didn't go to the isolation center. They went to the emergency center of the Ridge Hospital. So that's where the problem is. And also, you know, there's a triage, there's a number of things at the hospital. Like I said, there's a resuscitation center and the ICU. So there are patients there as well.
Exactly.
There are patients there as well.
So it's not just the 15 health workers.
It's not just the health workers. We're told about 50 or so patients are also there at the emergency center. So that's where the concern is. So as we speak, they are preparing, the hospital authorities are preparing to close down the emergency center and go through a disinfection process. And I was telling you that the body of the man is still at the temporary morgue at the emergency center of the Ridge Hospital. They are awaiting the national response team to take the necessary measures before the body is in court disposed of. So that's what we are waiting now. So I can say that the man's body is still not too cold as we are expecting, because he just died like a few hours ago and still at the Ridge Hospital awaiting the attention from the national response team. And then we are told that the contact tracing is a technical team that has to undertake that. So all those who were there at the time have been asked to go into a sort of isolation. So there's a center, there's a place at the Ridge Hospital that they are currently keeping all those who came into contact with the man as we speak.
Will that include the patients who are also there?
That is what we don't know for now, but we're told that the whole place will be cordoned off for some kind of disinfection to ensure that there will be no spread. And those who were on duty are being kept at the Ridge Hospital, somewhere at the Ridge Hospital, to ensure that there's some kind of isolation. But they are not happy with the process because they've said that they've raised concerns, reliably informed that on their WhatsApp platforms at the emergency center, those who are working at the emergency unit, they've constantly raised concerns about the lack of protective equipment and all that for them, even though there's an isolation center at Ridge. So that's the situation as we speak. We're told that the man tested positive for COVID-19.
This is a really sad story, but But then, first and foremost, our condolences to Obour, say we Lucy, ne papa. But then, the next question in a baby son say, I didn't doctors, any nurses, ebisa Obour, say ne papa ekra travel history biana na wentimi anka nchromo say ne papa efia kwantum aba. Nkofo bebre ebo nechi because of adia oye no and on the bar Twitter now say, with sadness and a heavy heart, I announce the death of Nana Osei for my biological father. Nana returned from UK on 19th March after his yearly visit to the family. Upon his return, he was fine, but began coughing on Sunday, 22nd. Unauthorised say we arranged for his blood sample to be tested and he tested positive for malaria. We began treatment for malaria, but his condition got worse. We arranged to bring him to Accra to be tested for COVID-19 at Ridge Hospital on Wednesday. I didn't know Obour or Bowa. Nama testing the blood for malaria. Does it add up? Let's go on. Or say they informed us that his report will be ready on Friday, but we should keep him in quarantine, which we did. On Thursday night, he had extreme difficulty with breathing, so we called the ambulance service and informed them of his condition. We told the patient has tested for COVID-19 and awaiting his result, so they should come along with appropriate apparel. The ambulance team took him to Ridge Hospital around 11 p.m. on Thursday, March the 26th. The next tweet na etwasono say and say late this afternoon, the doctors informed us that he is likely to be a confirmed COVID case, and as such, we should take steps to do a contact trace and quarantine ourselves. Sadly, he passed on this evening. Our condolences once again to Obour for losing his father. But then, do you think this story way it adds up to you? Upon all the things that we've heard, say woman way a car on Joy News and story where Obour so Eddie Abano. But you who are interested below the comment section, and do you think that Obour needs to be questioned? Well, let us know below the comment section. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. The name is Tafa, but I'm out of the Chubably.